sure to make sure everybody gets the YouTube link. Ryan Ahern, how are you, sir? Hold on, let me unmute you. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. How are you?
Good, man. I'm trying to look at us go. We both got the ginger beards rocking.
My shaver broke. I can't go to the store.
Let you borrow mine.
Oh yeah, your hair's growing out too.
A little bit. Yep. Yep.
Looks good, man.
Quarantine look for us guys, I guess.
Exactly. We all have this going on. Jimmy, how are you, bud?
Doing well. Just a lot of daddy duty and chilling. But yeah, we're still closing deals, so it's all good.
We haven't seen a crazy slowdown, so I'm glad to say that the market's still doing what it's doing.
Well, real estate, I don't think responds as fast as other things, so we'll feel it in the coming months. But
that's exactly what I was saying. Yeah, I think we're about another 2-3 weeks out before we start to see any kind of real ripple effect.
Yep.
We've had 4 appraisals in the last 30 days that came in under value.
Did they actually go out and appraise it, or did they just run the numbers?
They went out. They had access.
Wow.
So
they're already
being ultra conservative.
Yeah. I mean, banks right now are they're tightening up. So appraisers, I'm sure, are being instructed to do the same. Do you know, if you don't mind me asking, how low, like from a percentage point, are we looking?
I don't know about percentages. Mathing is hard. One was 17 under, and I'm not sure they weren't my files, but one was 17 under, and the other one was 15.
So 3% a median, I guess, if we're looking at about a 5.
Yeah, they're medians.
So 3%. Eek. Yeah, that's pretty quick. All right, guys. Well, what we're going to talk about today is shift tactic number 6, which is about internet leads. And keep in mind, if anybody read it, this book was published in 2008. So this was right as Zillow and Trulia were starting to ramp up, as internet presence was starting to become a real thing. And so with all respect to Gary Keller and Jay Papasan and Dave Jenks, we're going to digress a little bit from the book, because the industry that we live in now is internet based, in my opinion. Statistics are 95% of consumers start their search online for homes. And so a big thing that it goes into are IDX sites, basically your personal website. And just so everyone knows, we've partnered with homes.com. And so if you were having trouble with search engine optimization or putting your website at the top of most Google searches, we do have a partnership with homes.com that will allow you to do that. To be honest with you, they're saying pretty openly that takes about 6 months to ramp up. And because we've really pushed the financial implications of everything and made sure that everybody is watching expenses, I'm probably not going to recommend that right now. But I do want to kind of talk a little bit about some of the things that we're seeing. Pay-per-click is still an option, and a pretty fantastic option when we talk about pricing, $5 to $10 a lead in a lot of cases, sometimes less. If you are late to the internet game, I'm sure you've seen a lot of the good domains are gone. It's expensive to be on the first page and website. We're essentially competing with Realtor.com, Zillow, Trulia, Redfin, etc. And so a lot of people are asking, all right, how do we utilize online lead generation? And I want to kind of make this more of an open forum, because I've got some input that I'd love to share. But I want to know, Rachel, let's start with you. What are you guys still using internet lead?
You know what? That would not be a question for me, but I would imagine they're getting some leads through the internet, but I don't know what platform they're using.
Okay, Ryan, are you still using internet lead capture?
Yeah, we've just cut it back, and we're just shifting gears and testing out some different stuff. But we still have our Google pay-per-click, and we've really shifted into really communicating with our database twice as much as we were. So that's taken the majority of our time. But yes, I mean, I think I've heard that Realtor.com is working really well right now. I don't know, I'm not using it, but that's just what I've heard. Yep. And I mean, everybody's on Facebook, so right now sitting at home on Facebook. But So, but we still do some. We've cut it back about 75% and boosted our communication with our database by about an additional 79%. So
that's perfect. That's a lot of what I want to talk about today. Sonia, what about you? If you don't mind me asking, are you utilizing online lead capture sources?
No, my previous office that I just left, I got Zillow leads through. And in the last 3 weeks, it literally was like one lead for the last 3 weeks. So, which was for the office. So, but I would get, every time there was a lead, we all would get a notification, and then whoever got it first. But it literally, that didn't exist anymore. So I don't know what, I think Zillow is going to cut the cost for leads right now, or it's doing something, but I personally don't do any online leads.
And just so you know, guys, for the sake of transparency, there's a ton of avenues that you can look into when it comes to online leads. Zillow.com, obviously the most notorious. Realtor.com also offers them. Trulia and Homes.com are still offering buyer leads. You've got, I think it's called Leads.com. You've got Bold Leads, obviously, is one. What's the other one? There's one that specializes in home sellers, and it's Offers.com is another one that's it's actually an affiliate, not an affiliate, but a partner with Keller Williams. So there's a ton of opportunities there if you're thinking about looking into them. And I would recommend Lead with Revenue. As we always try to stress, especially now in these weird times, watching your pocketbook is going to be crucial. And so I wanted to go ahead and put some stuff out there. Sonia, you know, Zillow is the big one. You know, Zillow sees more traffic on their website than any of our personal websites combined. That's the go-to resource for home buyers and sellers when they start their search. There's no point in competing against that. But as they've become the #1 resource, they've been able to really rake up the charges that they're now passing on to the agent. And their business model, in my opinion, is brilliant. They're going to take my listing and the leads that I get from my listing, and then through their portal, sell them back to other agents. Absolutely genius. And yet they're charging agents, specifically in La Jolla last month when I taught the selling with social media class, it was $450 per lead, $450 per lead. Now that's massive. Now, Ryan, you touched on something that I think is absolutely crucial. Now, let's say, Sonia, as you alluded to, Zillow does cut their price per lead, which they're going to have to. Even though more people are online now than probably ever, there's not as much buyer and seller activity. So let's say they cut it down to $100 per lead. Okay, and you're considering going in that direction. I'm not saying cut out your internet lead conversion or your lead generation. What I am saying though is that for $100 a lead using Twilio, you can get in touch with and send and receive 13,000 text messages to your database for $100. Okay, if you've got a database of 1,000, that's a little bit more than one per month that you can send to your database. You got a database of 500, that's every 2 weeks you can send a text message to your database. Okay, you've essentially just with that created a 26-point touch system, and all it really has to be is, hey, how are you doing? For the same cost of one lead. Go ahead and send a text out asking for a referral. Ask if they're interested in a home valuation. Okay, what we can do now with our money is just start getting creative with how we're spending it. And Ryan, I love what you said. If you're gonna start spending money, use it on your database. If you've got a robust database that you can systematically target, ask for referrals, ask for, if they're interested in market updates. People right now are really going to be starved for information. Be that go-to reliable resource for market info. A couple other things that I wanted to touch on. We do have access to we have our own IDX websites through Command. So if you're paying for a website now and you're looking at a cost to cut through that, go ahead and use the IDX one that we've got through Keller Williams. Coupling that with the Twilio text messages, send them a link to your app. If you can get 1,000 people using your mobile app, that's branded to you. Anytime they send an inquiry on a home, anytime they want to view a property, that all goes to you. Those leads are directly sent to your unique domain, I guess. Follow up with internet lead conversion is crucial. And there's been a lot of studies that have gone out and a lot of different systems that have been put in place specifically targeting lead follow-up. And so I do want to kind of dive into that. Morgan, I don't know if you can hear me. Yeah. Are you familiar? Do you do any online lead generation?
I don't do online lead generation. Basically, I just use Facebook. That's basically the online lead generation that I do.
What does your follow-up plan look like for Facebook, if you don't mind me asking? If you get a lead from Facebook, what do you typically structure that to look like?
I determine what kind of buyer it is, A, B, or C, or seller it is, and then I just follow the plan based on that. I either follow up with them once a week, once a month, every other week. It depends. I'm pretty good with my follow-up when I have a prospect or a lead. I'm
Good.
kind of a stage 5.
Stage 5 clinger?
Yeah, totally.
That's the way to be, though. Sonia, what about you? How does your follow-up look, if you don't mind me asking?
Not as good. I'm not a clinger.
Stage 3?
I wish I would be good. I have this. I just don't. I'm not very good at follow up.
And we talked a little bit about it. And Sonia, to be honest, most of us aren't. That's where we fall short. It's not so much with the lead generation. It's with the lead follow-up and the lead conversion. Brian, what about you? Do you have anything to add? Do you have any input that you can provide regarding, lead follow-up?
Yeah, I use a system called Ava, and I like it. AIVA.com, I think. HireAva.com. Basically, what that is, when a lead comes in from any lead source, it'll go to my database and then goes into my database, and then Ava is a real human being in the United States that answers these via text message 24/7, 365, and they average within 31-second response time. 24/7, 365 is a real human. It's not a bot. So you can ask them something not real estate related, and you're going to get an answer instead of some wacko answer that a bot does. So I like that. And then basically they communicate with them for 90 days until they either weed them in or weed them out. And then they send me, when the conversation starts, they're really good at asking them really good questions. And then they'll notify me interested. And then I jump on and say, hey, I know you've been talking with my assistant, Ava, blah, 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 however the communication should go there. But that way they're answered 24/7, 365 within seconds. And that system, they're giving really good deals right now for that. We were bringing in about 300 leads a month, and I was paying them about $500. Right now, at 300 leads a month, they're offering for $99 a month. So I don't know how many leads you guys got, but one human being can't handle 300 leads a month. A system like that can, and it does, and it works really well. So we only talk to the leads that are interested, and we read all their conversations that they've had with Ava before we get on the phone. And the Ava conversations are within the database too. So it's in the notes in the database. It integrates pretty well with that. So that's what we've been doing.
That sounds killer, man. $99 a month, you said, for 300 leads?
It could be more than that. I don't know. They're giving just really good deals right now. Because that's one system that everybody's cutting out because they're trying to save money.
Yeah, for sure.
So that works really well with us. And then, after a certain period of time, if they've had a conversation with them and then Ava decides, hey, this person's not interested, they're not going to continue to follow up with them and bug the shit out of them. So then they're going to tell you they're not interested. Then they'll go into our database and they'll get a weekly video of just a tidbit it's a video by us that just has a tidbit of what to do if you're looking to do this, or if this happens, or just some sort of piece of information, but on a weekly basis. And we do that through either MailChimp or BombBomb, so we can see who's looking at them just to keep them going back to our websites.
Perfect, man. Thank you. You touched base on a lot of things. Speaking to the follow-up, the response time is crucial. You have to be the first one to get back to them. And I've seen a bunch of studies, and I was actually really surprised to find out that right now, the first point of contact after a lead comes in, and it's contrary to what I think most of us have been taught in our entire careers. Your first point of contact now is text message. It's kind of how most people are comfortable communicating now. So if you get a Facebook lead, an online lead, home value estimate, text message, if you've got the phone number, is the go-to preferred method of contact.
There's also another one called Howdy. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but
I've heard of Howdy.
Howdy's cheaper than Ava. It is a bot, but you basically program your responses to this. So if a lead comes in, it'll send an automatic text message to that person. It won't continue a conversation with them though. So if they respond, then it notifies you, says this person just responded, you can jump in. So you set your hours from like, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. or something like that. And then it won't respond at midnight and, and then try to start a conversation and you're not there. Yeah. But it's super cheap. It's a bot and it responds like that and then notifies you. That's a good one. I know a lot of people that use that one too that like it.
The fact that we've got these options speaks to the importance of getting back to those leads quickly. People want that instant response. And so having that text message go out, and guys, that, in my experience, and I'd love some input, the text message doesn't have to be complicated. If I'm posting a Facebook lead generation campaign, and I'll dive a little bit into how I'm doing those. My response is, hey, thanks a bunch for the inquiry on 1234 Main Street. Are you available to look Saturday or Sunday at 1 p.m.? What works best for you? It's pretty simple. I'm not asking for a ton of information. I'm not asking, I'm not being very intrusive. It's very much just like, hey, thanks for the inquiry, and make it sound like yourself. Nobody really wants to read what sounds like an automatic bot system response, as Ryan said. Customize that response, make it sound like you, but keep it simple. Your response doesn't need to be overcomplicated. People don't want paragraphs on their first point of contact. You know what I mean? Thanks for your inquiry. Are you available to view Saturday or Sunday at 1 p.m.? That's it. Or thanks for checking out my listing at whatever. When do you want to have a look? Does Thursday or Friday work better? Cool. Let's see. A big thing that I do want to talk about is focusing on a few things. Cost per lead is going to be crucial. When we're starting to evaluate any kind of internet leads, pay attention to the cost that you're paying per lead or the cost that you're paying per click. Ultimately, as Ryan said, the more people we can put in our database and systematically get in front of and get in touch with, the better off we're going to be. All right. So if you're going to Zillow and you're paying $100, $200, $300, $400 per lead, might not be the best system in these times. Focus on something like the Google pay-per-click, the Google Analytics, Facebook leads that we're getting at $200 to $250 per lead, and continue to focus on building your database. Your database is your business. So the more people we can add to that database and then systematically contact over the next 52 weeks, the more business we should realistically see from that. Still at a 6% conversion based on everything that's being put out in studies. With Facebook stuff, I've seen a ton. Everybody has social media. So Sonia, you said that you have a social media account. I'm sure you've seen real estate agent sponsored ads, yeah? What do they usually look like?
Very generic, or it's about them.
Yeah. And guys, I think it's inevitable. We all have a little bit of an ego. We're in real estate. We kind of have to a degree. And yet think like a consumer. From a branding standpoint, sure, if you're willing to go ahead and spend money on a branding piece that is simply meant to reinforce your name and your brand, absolutely spend money on that. And right now, no, spend money on capturing leads. So when you think like a consumer, what's going to cause a consumer to click? What's the clickbait that you're going to put in front of them? And it's most of the time properties. It's very heavily properties. If you're not advertising a property and you're not putting an ad in front of somebody that's enticing enough to make them click, don't pay for the ad. Nobody and let's just be real. We're all in the same industry. Nobody's going to click on an ad about how awesome we are as a real estate professional. It's not what they're interested in. All right.
Hey, real quick, do you guys go to other big agent pages across the nation and look in their ads manager to see what the ads they're running?
Do you mean through
page
their business page?
Page
Can you see which ones they've paid for?
Yeah. So you go to one of their business pages, and on the right, pick any one of them. You can go to Whistles or Beers. Hold on, my phone is ringing. I don't know how I can see you guys again, but either way, hopefully you can see me. So basically, if you go to a real estate agent's Facebook page, and you go on the right, scroll down, you'll see something called page transparency.
Mm-hmm.
And let me pull it up. And then you go to, let me just go to one real quick. This is what I've done a lot with in the past to see who's doing what. I'll just go to whistles.
I'm headed there right now. His business page, right?
Right. And let me know when you're there.
I don't see anything on the right that says.
Scroll down. Scroll
What
down.
is the name you're looking at on Facebook so I can do it too?
Go to
on
Whistle Realty Group.
Yeah,
Just
I'm on
look
Whistle
at
Realty Group.
And then go scroll down on the
Oh, I see
right.
it.
It's page transparency. Go to see more.
Here, let me do this. Okay, everybody see my page?
I can't, but somebody called my, oh, there you go. Okay. Now go to the right of that.
So I've got the
Scroll
new
down, stop.
Facebook set up, so I'm right here.
Okay. Yep. Let's go to see all and then scroll down and go, and on the right-hand side all the way down, you should be able to go lower in there. Go do ad library. So this is what you're going to see the ads that they're currently running. What you want to do is scroll all the way to the down and find out the ones that they've been running since, for months and months and months. They wouldn't continue to run these ads if they weren't profitable.
Yeah.
So like that one's April 1st. If you can go down, I don't know when that one was because if you scroll up a little bit. I don't know when that one was put on, but you can do this for anybody in the country. I mean, anybody with a Facebook ad or that has a real estate company page, find out what they're doing and rip it off and duplicate it.
Yeah.
Because these bigger ones wouldn't be running these ads for a long time if they weren't making money.
Yeah, that's smart. I didn't know that you could do that.
Yeah.
You learn something new every day. I don't know how to get back to my main screen. Wait, that's just you.
It's a whole different screen. I think you should just be able to go up to the top and cancel it and go back. See?
Here we go.
Because the ads library is a new window, new page.
Stop share. Perfect. All right, we're back. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, dude. The most effective ads are the ones that are designed to get consumers to click. And when we think like a consumer, what's going to be the most enticing thing to them? A property. HGTV has proven that people want to see houses. People want to see other people's homes. That's going to be the most enticing clickbait. So if you're running ads about yourself, I hate to say it, unfortunately, nobody cares. Put something in front of the consumer that they're going to want to bite at. For a seller, I'm not going to lie, there's been a ton of people that are trying to run seller ads and they're not seeing the same results. If you're posting an ad about what's your property worth or free property valuation, I'd love to get those leads just as much as you, and we're not seeing the same results as we are with the property ads. Okay. So make sure that if you're going to go invest money into that, you're putting something in front of a consumer that is enticing enough to get them to click. Now, the reason that I love Facebook is because of the way that the lead comes in. The information that I get from a Facebook lead includes their first name, last name, the phone number associated with their Facebook, and the email associated with their Facebook. So I've got my big ticket items right there. The last thing that I really want to get is their physical property address. And then from there, I can go stalk their Facebook page, be like Morgan, stage 5, get their birthday, where they work, potentially their property address, anything I need, fill that into my database, and then put them on a 36-point touch or a custom smart plan so that they're getting multiple text messages, emails, market updates, etc. Ultimately with the plan of, to be honest, for me, it's getting them to use my app and getting them to use my property website. If I can get them to do that, I can track everything that they do. It's kind of scary, but that's where we are. Any questions right now, guys? Last thing that I want to do when we talk about internet lead conversion, I want to talk about some free stuff. The IDX website, the app, those are both free to every Keller Williams agent. The last thing that I want to point out is we have a massive referral network. I want to say the statistics, what was it? I think it was like $4 billion in transaction volume sent through the Keller Williams referral network last year. 4 billion in volume. That's insane. That's massive. And honestly, for some reason, the number 9 is like popping in my head. I wouldn't be surprised if it's significantly higher. Long story short, though, there's a lot of transactions that are referred out from agent to agent. Okay, and a free way to prospect is to build your referral network. Okay, we've got 160,000 agents you can call And let's be smart about it. Do you guys know where the two biggest referral hubs are coming into San Diego? Coming in? Phoenix, Las Vegas. You want to know how I found that? I'm going to show you. So if you go to Command, and on the left-hand side here, if you go to Referrals, here's your referral dashboard, right? If you go to Map, click on that, and then you can, we highlighted San Diego. You can click on Referral Partners, or you can click on, where is it here? Referral Patterns, I'm sorry. See that right there? It tells me where referrals are coming from. You've got Las Vegas and Phoenix as the two biggest. You've got Los Angeles as another big hub, San Francisco, San Jose. Honolulu over here is another referral hub. Okay. And you can change this to any city. Bakersfield is another place that, you know, my team does a ton of business. Or what else? You can go Los Angeles. Okay, you can track incoming and outgoing referrals using Command. And then from there, let's say Las Vegas is the place that you're going to end up doing business. Find the agents from Las Vegas that you want to add to your referral network. That make sense, guys? That's free. Okay, Brian Kane, I don't know if you guys watched his video on Connect, you know, protect your, or build a moat around your fortress. He said one of the things that he did when he first got to Keller Williams was called, I think he said he added 750 referral partners to his database in the first 12 months. And I think he said like 80% of his business is referral, either from other agents or from his database now. So that's free. Focus on that, guys. Make sure that you're systematically hitting your database, you're growing your referral network, and you're taking advantage of some of the stuff that we've got out there that's not going to cost $450 a lead, like you're seeing from Zillow. That's pretty much it for today, guys. Try to keep it somewhat short and sweet, about a half an hour in. Any questions, any input, anything we want to add? We should have our training calendar out today. Sonia, I'm going to add you to the Facebook group. Morgan, I will get you on the Facebook group as well. Look for some fun stuff. We're still trying to get together a bingo card and give away more alcohol to keep you guys occupied during the quarantine. If you need anything, don't hesitate to let us know.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks, Ray.
Brian, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Good to see you.
Yeah, you too.
Cheers, brother.